Turn your websites into LLM-ready data. Why do we need this, you may ask? Well, in this channel we have seen how we are trying to build the RAG application, and in the RAG application we see that the first step that we do generally is to load up our data, and to have an extremely good source of data, extremely well structured data is very essential, and this is where FireCrawl comes into picture. So welcome back guys, this is FireCrawl, using which you can turn websites into LLM-ready data. Now this is a new revolution. When we have LLMs involved, we need the data in a particular format in which the LLMs can understand. Now using the FireCrawl, we can crawl and convert any website into clean, markdown or structured data. As an example, we can see that we have www.mendable.ai here, and on the right you can see the outputs as the URLs and the markdown structure here. We see another URL which is the sub URL of the mendable.ai. We have the features here and you can see the output there. So in this fashion we can crawl the URL of the mendable.ai and go to different URLs and extract the structures, extract the data in the markdown structure. Now this structure is something which an LLM would love to interact with and get the good response. I've worked with numerous crawling agents. I've worked with other 2-3 agents, and I found that FireCrawl provides you the best data in terms of working with large language models. Now why is FireCrawl the best? It's because it handles all the accessible subpages even without a sitemap. It extracts the dynamic content. We can convert it into markdown structure. It is built for AI. It has inbuilt caching, and it's good for crawling orchestration. Now let's go to the playground of FireCrawl and see how it works. So we have on the playground we have this URL, and if we just press run, we can see that it scrapped total of 10 pages. The first page is mendable.ai, and you can see the markdown structure here. We can see the entire thing has been fetched without any HTML text. Now that is pretty good. This will help you reduce the number of tokens used when using LLMs. We have the JSON format as well. On the right you can see mendable.ai, use cases and CS enablement. We have other web pages, for example mendable.ai, use cases and documentation. So in this fashion it is able to extract 10 number of pages, 10 number of subpages of mendable.ai along with the original mendable.ai page, and this structure provides a great valuable input for the large language models. Now this has been trending on GitHub. You can see the star rating and it's absolutely amazing. Now let's go to the GitHub repository where we can turn the entire websites into LLM-ready markdown or structured data, scrape, crawl, search and extract with a single API. We have different implementations of APIs like Python and Node SDK, LangChain, Llama Index, LangChain JavaScript integration. But I'm going to show you in the Python SDK. So in the Python SDK, if we go and we can see that we need to install this firecrawl.py agent library, and then we need to get the API keys. So how to get the API keys? We go to my account here. After we go to the account, we can see that this is the API key that you can use. Just copy the code and use it. We have received a total of 300 credits, out of which I've used 117. That is pretty costly, and considering this little exercises that I've done. So let's head over to the Python implementation. I can go to my handy dandy Visual Studio Code editor, and this is a Python notebook. So I install the firecrawl-py. Then we load up the API key that we received. Then we're trying to scrape this mendable.ai. Once we scrape it, we print it, but we see that this print structure is not very good, so we use the pretty print. So we just import pprint and pprint.pprint, and the scrape data here. So we get this beautiful structure of a pretty print. Next, we can crawl a website. So we have this Mandible.ai, we crawl the entire website, and you can see all these elements. Now if you watch this as a scrollable element, you can get so many pages that it was able to extract from the Mandible.ai. Now we can use pedantic search, and you can extract the particular elements. For example, we can extract the title, points, by, and comments URL. Once we run this from the news.ycombinator.com, we can see that we can get the outputs in this form. So by, comments URL, in this dictionary structure, title and points. This is amazing. Now we can use this as well. We can directly integrate the search. So we can put in a query, what is Mandible, and you can just use the app.search and put in the query. This will return the relevant web pages, the contents of the web pages in a markdown or JSON structure, which could contain the answer of what is Mandible. And once we have this, we take the data, load it, split it, embed it, store it, and then use it with your questions to retrieve the data and fit it into your prompt. Use an LLM to get the answer. So that's a mouthful. But in this video, we are just focusing on the loading part of the data, especially the quality of the data that we need to have in order to have a great response from the LLM for your RAG applications. We can have, let's say, a chatbot like this, and we could ask questions. We could design a chatbot which has a beautiful RAG implementation, but the quality of the RAG implementation depends so much on the data that we are using. Now there are other free implementations as well. Stay tuned on this channel. By the way, thanks for the 11K subscribers on this channel. I'm grateful to each and every viewer who are watching this and supporting me in this journey. Also join my Patreon if you want to support me for the works that I'm doing. If you don't want to use FireCrawl or any other automated services like this, in the next video we are going to see a native implementation of crawling and how you can crawl the web pages without using FireCrawl or any other services. So stay tuned for the next video. And by the way, watch this next video on this surprisingly simple way to use Ollama using Page Assist. Thank you and have a nice day. Subscribe please.